Good evening and welcome to Kini News. The Court of Appeal has allowed the appeal by former Federal Territories Minister Tengku Adnan Tengku Mansor to set aside his convictions and sentence of 12 months jail and a fine of 2 million ringgit on a graft charge today.
The Court of Appeal has overturned the 2 million ringgit corruption conviction against former Federal Territories Minister Tengku Adnan Tengku Mansor. Justice Suraya Osman, who read the 2-1 majority decision, said the High Court judge had erred in his judgment in finding the appellant guilty. They ruled that the 2 million ringgit was political donation for 2 by-elections. On December 21st last year, the High Court in Kuala Lumpur had found the Putrajaya MP guilty in the graft case. Judge Muhammad Zaini Mazlan sentenced Tengku Adnan to 12 months jail sentence and a fine of 2 million ringgit. However, the court allowed the defense application for stay of execution over the jail term and fine, pending disposal of the accused appeals to the Court of Appeal. Adnan was charged under Section 165 of the Penal Code, which specifies a jail term of up to 2 years, fine or both. Tengku Adnan, who was charged in his capacity as a public servant, namely as then Federal Territories Minister, was accused of having accepted for himself 2 million ringgit from Chai King Kong, who is the Director of Aset Kayamas, via a Hon Leong Islamic bank check belonging to Aset Kayamas Sendirian Berhad. The check was then deposited into the account of Tan Mansori Holdings Sendirian Berhad, in which the accused had an alleged interest in.
Many people have been waiting for Parliament to reconvene, and it was finally announced that a special session will be held on the 26th of July. However, it seems like that sitting isn't exactly what most people expected. Things aren't exactly what they seem to be sometimes, just like how a free media apparently isn't free to operate. That's why we need your help to keep the government accountable, and Malaysia needs a free press more than ever. Please help us to continue what we're doing, so click on the link in the description below to find out how you can contribute. Now, about that Parliament sitting.
A special Parliament sitting is scheduled to begin on the 26th of July and has been anticipated by many people. However, it has now emerged that the session would comprise of 5 days of, quote, explanations from ministers. Photos of the schedule for the 5-day sitting that were posted on social media show that all 5 days have been slated for the cabinet ministers to provide explanations. This has led to several MPs criticizing the planned proceedings. Among them was MUA MP Syed Saddiq Syed Abdul Rahman, who questioned Parliament's function if MPs with their salaries in the tens of thousands only need to show up and hear ministers' explanations. He added that Malaysia has been in lockdown for months, but COVID-19 cases still exceed 13,000, and he was being paid by the people to bring their voice to Parliament. Former Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad commented on the sitting yesterday, saying that it was just set up as a response to the Yang di-Pertuan Agong's push for Parliament to reconvene. He said it is nothing more than a lie to the people to show that a Parliament sitting had been held, but it was just a briefing session. He added that his party is considering whether or not to attend the sitting. Pekan MP Najib Abdul Razak also called out the government over the planned proceedings. In a post on Facebook, he questioned whether the government has trouble understanding the Yang di-Pertuan Agong's decree. He said that the Agong had decreed on the 16th of June that Parliament should convene as soon as possible to debate the National Recovery Plan and the emergency ordinances. Najib said if the government wanted to give briefings for 5 consecutive days, then they might as well record a video and upload it to YouTube for us to watch. Yesterday, Dewan Rakyat Speaker Azhar Azizan Harun said the sitting from the 26th of July to the 2nd of August is a special sitting. He said a full sitting will take place from the 6th to the 30th of September, and the Agong will officiate the sitting on September 6.
So with Parliament in session soon, will there be a confidence motion in the Dewan Rakyat? Well, according to a report, Senate President Rais Yatim thinks that is unlikely. However, an MP has now questioned what jurisdiction he has over the Dewan Rakyat.
Sepang MP Hanifah Maidin has questioned Senate President Rais Yatim over his remarks on the Dewan Rakyat. In a statement today, he said, Rais had no jurisdiction over the Dewan Rakyat. This came after Rais was quoted as saying that the Dewan Rakyat's standing orders would not allow for a motion of no confidence to be heard. Hanifah said Rais was not even the Speaker for the lower house, and added that it was not the duty of a Speaker to prejudge motions for MPs. He said, fairness should be the primary attribute or quality of any speaker, and Parliament was not a mafia club where threats and intimidations are orders for the day. In a report in Utusan Malaysia yesterday, Rais was quoted as saying that a motion of confidence in the upcoming Parliament sitting was not likely. He said he did not expect it to happen, as the basis for that to happen is very limited. He added that the standing orders do not allow anyone to move a motion of no confidence which intends to worsen the situation during the Dewan Rakyat sitting. While motions of no confidence have never been debated in Parliament, such motions have been placed on the Dewan Rakyat's order paper. The government had also submitted a confidence motion last year, which in practice is the same as a no confidence motion. However, it was not debated as the sitting was focused on the budget instead. The upcoming Dewan Rakyat session on July 26 is expected to focus on approving measures for a hybrid sitting and to hear briefings from the government on the COVID-19 situation.
Now let's take a look at the latest COVID-19 situation in the country. The Health Ministry reported 12,501 new cases today.
New COVID-19 cases have exceeded 10,000 for the fourth day in a row, with the Health Ministry reporting 12,541 cases today. The Klang Valley still recorded the bulk of the cases, with Selangor reporting 5,512 cases. This was followed by Negeri Sembilan with 1,619 cases, and Kuala Lumpur with 1,542. Yesterday, Deputy Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob explained that Malaysia reported 13,250 new COVID-19 cases on Thursday due to the increased testing in Kuala Lumpur, Selangor, and Negeri Sembilan. Ismail added that the government will be focusing on vaccination, which will help bring down the number of infections. The number of daily vaccine doses administered continued to increase yesterday, with 460,000 shots administered, making it the highest so far. In a post on Twitter, Health Minister Dr. Arham Baba said, this brings the total number of vaccine doses administered under the National COVID-19 Immunization Programme to 13,107,716 doses. The government is also aiming to inoculate all Klang Valley residents at least the first dose by August 1st. Health Ministry Director General Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said this is essential in decreasing the large number of COVID-19 cases in the Klang Valley. He said a total of 3.1 million in the Klang Valley have received their first dose, and the remaining 5 million will have their vaccinations given as soon as possible.
Good Morning G-Sure is the first plant-based and complete nutrition drink made in Malaysia. It is suitable for those who are lactose intolerant. Research made by local universities found that more than 90% of our Malaysian population are lactose intolerant. Lactose intolerance can cause bloated stomach and diarrhea. Good Morning G-Sure helps to improve the immune system, reduce the risk of illnesses, and helps to improve general well-being and strengthen our bodies. A happy family starts with a healthy family. I'm still active, healthy, and going strong at the age of 52. It has to be Good Morning G-Sure.
Shellfish, red meat, and beer. If you love indulging in these foods, you may end up with high uric acid level in your blood. These foods consist high level of purine, a substance that will eventually break down into uric acid and be excreted through our urine. It is recommended that the amount of dietary purines should be kept between 600 to 1000 milligrams per day. Having too much uric acid in your blood can cause attacks of gout. It can also cause kidney stones and blockage in the kidney. The crystallization of the excessive uric acid in your blood can be eased by reducing purine-rich food to only 100 to 150 milligrams daily, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and consuming urinary alkalinizer like Ural. It consists of sodium bicarbonate, citric acid, and sodium citrate that increases the urinary pH and solubility of uric acid to prevent crystallization. Best of all, it's lemon-flavored and sugar-free. Ural, effective urinary alkalinizer. Neutralize your uric acid problem now.
Malaysia now has 6 vaccines that are allowed for emergency use in the country. The latest is the Sinopharm COVID-19 vaccine, which was green-lighted for use in Malaysia under conditional emergency approval today.
The Ministry of Health has granted conditional approval for the Sinopharm COVID-19 vaccine to be used in the country. In a statement, Health Ministry Director General Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said the decision was made in a Drug Control Authority meeting earlier today. He said the conditional approval requires the latest information on the quality, safety and effectiveness of the vaccines to be continuously monitored and evaluated based on the latest data from time to time. He said this was to ensure that the benefit over risk of the vaccines remains positive. The Sinopharm vaccine requires 2 doses to be administered at a 21-day interval and is developed by the China National Pharmaceutical Group Corporation, known as Sinopharm. According to the World Health Organization website, the vaccine has an efficacy of 79% against symptomatic COVID-19 infection, which kicks in 14 days or more after the second dose is completed. It also has a 79% efficacy against hospitalization. The meeting also decided to give conditional approval to the Janssen COVID-19, which is produced by US-based company Johnson & Johnson. With the approval, there are now 6 vaccines that are allowed for emergency use in the country. The other vaccines that have been approved by the drug authority so far are the Pfizer, Sinovac, AstraZeneca and CanSino vaccines.
That's a wrap for Kini News this evening. For more stories, you can go to kinitv.com. Don't forget, you can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook to get the latest headlines as well. If you would like to support the independent media, please do consider a subscription to malaysiakini.com. If you're heading out, don't forget your mask, and when you can, please do try to stay home. I'm Daniel Anthony. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your weekend, and as always, stay safe, Malaysia.